The court held that contract requires a candidate to submit his or her academic certificate to INEC before being allowed to contest election. The Supreme Court also held that the Constitution does not require one to possess secondary school certificate to be qualified, but that schooling up to secondary school without possessing the result of the final examination was sufficient. The Independent National Electoral Commission INEC has assured that contrary to fears, elections will hold normally in the riverine areas of Kogi and Bayelsa states. INEC's head of publicity, Oluwole Osaze-Ozi, gave the assurance following fears expressed by stakeholders that the commission may not be able to conduct election in riverine areas because of the terrain. Osaze-Ozi said the challenge experienced in the past have been identified and corrected, adding that materials have already been deployed to the riverine areas in Kogi and Kogi, and Bayelsa states.
By the time we went to the chairman of the commission and the commission went to Bayelsa two weeks or 3 weeks ago for the stakeholders, all electoral materials, nonsense were already on ground. Same thing, ditto with Kogi. Not just hearing it and sitting in an air conditioned office and hearing reports from your field officer, but actually going there. And he inspected several local governments in each state. And there we were, randomly, the materials were there, batched word by word, registration areas, and ready to go. Then the more sensitive materials, of course, we could not take them so early, but they are already they were, as I yesterday, in the vaults, moved from the vaults of the central bank to locations. In the riverine areas, not only, apart from our personal visits to some of those areas, not just in Ogwa, the chairman went around, we have a platform where you must give us photograph reports with photographs, evidence, photographs, videos of your going to your RAC centers.
A former Minister of Information, Alex Akinyele, has died at the age 81. A son of the late minister, Constantine Akinyele, said the former minister died last night after a brief illness. Akinyele, who was a public relations expert, was a pioneer spokesperson of the Nigeria Customs Service. He was also Secretary General and later President of the Nigeria Institute of Public Relations. Ahead of 2020 budget presentation by Rivers State Government, Governor Nyesom Wike has been tasked to take cognizance to improving on education, employment, security, health, and electricity. Community participation in inclusive government and open governance participation by citizens and communities across the state have also been highlighted as key to ensure public trust, transparency, and accountability in project allocation and implementation. These, amongst others, are the recommendations of a research on community need assessment report by Media Awareness and Justice Initiative conducted across 319 political wards in the state. Ikechukwu Aka, who is the project officer of the group, told newsmen in Port Harcourt that improving on education, employment, security, health, and electricity, it would help in developing people and the state at large. Also speaking, one of the project consultants, Kentebe Ebia Rido, spoke about Ella community in Elime local government area, which he said have suffered lack of electricity and potable water for years, just as he called on government to intervene. Finally, on the foreign scene, 2 students aged 16 and 14 have been killed and 3 others injured by a gunman who opened fire at a secondary school in California. The victims died in a brief 16-second gun attack shortly before classes began on Thursday at Saugus High School in Santa Clarita, north of Los Angeles. The attack came on the 16th birthday of the suspect, named by United States media as fellow student Nathaniel Behau. The suspect then shot himself in the head and is in a critical condition. And that's the size of the news update at 1 p.m. Thank you for listening. I am Kala Dakorubantabor. Today's household is up next after the break with myself and Wealth Wilson. Good afternoon.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Football. Let's welcome you to the fun side, the sunny side, to amazing sportsmanship. Let's welcome you to a superb football competition. Introducing Today FM Under 20 Soccer Fiesta. We are looking for the best 16 teams to play off in a knockout style within 10 days till we get to our champion. Is your team under 20? Are you the best? In Port Harcourt, date 4th to 14th December 2019. Prizes are: first position 300,000 naira, second position 200,000 naira, and third position 100,000 naira. For registration details, contact Sanipe on 0806 886 1984. Again, 0806 886 1984. Or Reliance on 0806 162 8619. Again, 0806 162 8619. Or visit the premises of Today 95.1 FM at number 1 Today FM Drive off East West Road, Rumekini, Port Harcourt.
Are you in search of a place to do all your audio recordings? From jingle, documentaries, church messages, and lots more.
Are you in search of a platform to give your business maximum exposure? Look no further. Come advertise with Today FM. With our unbeatable reach, we'll give your business the boost it so dearly needs. Visit us now at number 1 Today FM Drive off East West Road, Rumekini, Port Harcourt. Whatever the business is, we'll give it a voice.
This is today's hustle. One show that embodies objectivity. We raise the bar in examining the good, the bad, the sordid, everything that has to do with society.
In America, you buy a big house and you pay gradually for 30 years of your life. That is politics. In Nigeria, you carry all your salary and go and rent one room. Bad politics.
Everything that has to do with
you
society.
must negotiate. If we don't negotiate, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back to double levels. We have been pushed to the wall.
The Hustle. Every weekday from
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM.
You, stop there. Park your car now.
Why? I don't understand.
How well do you know your rights?
Hey you are under arrest.
This is wrong. I know written in the Constitution.
Are you well versed in the Constitution? Knowledge, they say, is power. Your premium talk radio presents The Law Today. The Law Today. It is didactic, interactive, informative, and instructive. The Law Today, Sundays 8:20 p.m. on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Voice of the people. Voice of the people.
For years, the needs of the youths have been speculated on.
The political system in our country has made it so difficult for youth to acquire the ability leading well when the tomorrow comes.
By politicians, school administrators, heads of states, and even parents.
Why listen to them?
Let's change the narrative. Youth Arise. The show powered by the youths, presenting a platform that focuses on their peculiar challenges. It happens every Sunday by 7 p.m. only on Today
95.1 FM.
This is today's hustle. One show that embodies objectivity. We raise the bar in examining the good, the bad, the sordid, everything that has to do with society.
In America, you buy a big house and you pay gradually for 30 years of your life. That is politics. In Nigeria, you carry all your salary and go and rent one room. Bad politics.
Everything that has to do with
You
society.
must negotiate. If we don't negotiate, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back to double levels. We have been pushed to the wall.
The Hustle. Every weekday from
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM.
All right, good afternoon to you once again. It is 13 minutes gone past the hour of 1 p.m. I am excited to be in the studio just maybe because it is TGIF. And in case you don't know what TGIF is, thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. All right, now, serious me. No, okay. It's time for today's hustle. I am Kalada, and I've got with me in the studio the beautiful, amazing, wonderful Wealth Wilson. I like to call her W Square.
Good afternoon, Kalada.
Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome. So it's time for trending stories. Of course, you know already that the first half of today's hustle has got to do with trending stories. So we will be looking at what is trending on various news portals, and we will get to be discussing it on the show this afternoon. Remember, you're listening to Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people, your premium talk radio station. Of course, we bring you the best of talk, as we will be doing right about now. So let's go straight to conversations. What do I have first on my list? Let's see now. Of course, you know that Supreme Court has given a reason for, the verdicts that it gave to the PDP and or against the PDP and Atiku, the presidential candidate of the PDP at the 2019 presidential election. I'm going to read this to everybody's hearing so we get to know what we actually are talking about. Now, according to our news bulletin for 1 p.m., it says that the Supreme Court has held that the People's Democratic Party and his candidate in the last presidential election, Atiku Abubakar, failed to prove their claim that INEC had a server and that it transmitted election results electronically. Now, the court, while given reasons for dismissing the appeal by the PDP and Atiku, held that they were wrong to have relied on results gotten from a website www.facts.lie.ng.co, whose owner they could not establish to claim to have won the election. Well, that's not really where my focus lies, because my focus is when the Supreme Court now said that President Muhammadu Buhari was right not to have submitted his academic credentials to the Independent National Electoral Commission, adding that President Buhari was eminently qualified to contest the last presidential election, and this is why. Now, the court held that contrary to claim by the appellants, no law in heaven and on earth in Nigeria requires a candidate to submit his or academic certificates to INEC before being allowed to contest the election. Now, the Supreme Court also held that the Constitution does not require one to possess secondary school certificates to be qualified, but that just going to school, let them just enroll you, and then you drop out by SS3. It's okay. It's okay. And as long as you can speak English and understand English, it is okay. But then again, what did catch my attention, apart from the academic qualification that was the PDP, there was no Atiku, to understand why he lost in the Supreme Court. There was nobody to represent the People's Democratic Party as a political party. And I like to start from there. What do you think? We talked about the fact that nobody respects the courts anymore. I saw a news report online, and the lawyers, the counsel to the APC were apologizing on behalf of the counsel to the PDP for their absence. And I'm wondering, first of all, what do you make of this? Is this another insult to the judiciary?
First off, I actually did expect that the Supreme Court would probably, make use of whatever evidences were already provided by the PDP during the tribunal stage of this particular case.
Yeah.
And then I thought if they were going to dismiss this case, they should just come forward with their reasons, because I didn't see any other reason apart from this one, honestly. This is the same thing.
They gave in the defense of the court, they gave two reasons.
The truth is, whatever reasons they have given is not that cumbersome that they couldn't have told us, dismissing this case simply because of this. People,
okay.
You get my point, right?
I
had waited how many weeks now for them to release this particular reason, and then it's still the same thing that they could have just stated in the first instance.
It's lost as what's that word? Is it a sting? You don't feel like you wanted it then because you were curious to know why and how they arrived at the
Most
judgment.
Definitely.
I see.
Yeah. So I did expect that that the PDP may not likely get victory with the Supreme Court. Why? Because the same evidences that were overruled during the tribunal stage of this particular case, it's the same that they would present rather to the Supreme Court. So I thought, the same judgments may be given to them, seeing that nothing will be done differently. So I did expect this particular, I did expect that, they probably won't win the case. But then they were dismissed, and I was hoping that as soon as the news with the dismissal comes out, I mean, you give us your reasons. I mean, the reasons are not so cumbersome. People would understand.
So let me understand. So you're saying it's okay for the PDP and its lawyers not to, gone to court today?
No.
Because let me understand. Let me tell you what I understand. You're saying that it's okay for the PDP and the counsel to the PDP not to have gone to court because the lawyers or the judges, I beg your pardon, were lazy in the first place to not have given their reasons at the time they were given dismissals.
Well, I wouldn't say the word lazy.
But that's how I understood it.
Well, it is okay for the PDP, to take their case to the court. I mean, this is like the first time I am witnessing a presidential court case tussle.
Yeah.
And then I did expect that I did think that it would be, very interesting to.
It was very interesting, as a matter of fact. I liked the back and forth. But then again, you've not answered my question. You said that you were expecting the Supreme Court to have given the reasons at the time they were dismissing the case. And I'm asking you now, am I understanding you correctly? I just need you to answer. Am I understanding you correctly? Because what I'm implying or what I'm getting from what you're saying is that you're saying that the PDP is, it's right for the PDP. And
it's this. I mean, everything that is here is the same thing that was, meted out during the tribunal.
So now let's look at this now. Do you think we should revisit our constitution? I mean, be a driver. You want to be, and this is no jokes. You want to be a driver. You're not driving government too. You want just a private individual looking for a driver, a chauffeur, and they're asking you for OND, HND. No. Let's look at this now. Come on, you're laughing. Let's look at this.
I'm not laughing. I'm not
laughing. You are going for gate man, and they're asking you for OND, HND. No, let's look at it. And yet now the Constitution, I'm sorry, I was almost going to break my screen because I'm looking at the Constitution now, and it is saying that you just need to have gone to secondary school. And it doesn't matter whether you have the certificate or not. If you drop out, you're good to go.
The truth is, as you said, we need to revisit our constitution. We have to make sure. I mean, first off, you're saddled with a whole responsibility for the nation. All right, you must be psychologically and mentally sound. Completely sound. All right, you may have leadership qualities, but then you need some intellect, to be able to keep body and soul together. And somebody's asking you for sometimes a master's degree. To be very honest, this is the country we find ourselves in. And then it doesn't motivate the people. It doesn't give them the right feeling about things.
Now in the defense of our president, now according to the Supreme Court, they interpret the law, and they have interpreted the law, and they said that he went to secondary school. He has his primary school living school living certificate, and then he has the military training, and then he was once head of state. So in his defense, he has met the requirements of the Constitution. But the question is not about the president. The question now is about whether we should revisit the Constitution. If you're listening, when we do open the phone lines, I will take your opinion. I will take your views. I would like to see what you think about this very judgment or reasons given by the courts for the judgment that they meted out during the case between the president and Atiku Abubakar. All right, let's move on to the next story. Now, you must have come across the very report because I think I read it during the 12 o'clock news. And he talked about the River State Governor, Nyesom Wike, coming out to say that the judiciary is the most powerful arm of government. Now, the governor said that he regrets that the strength of the judiciary has been lost due to fear. Now, speaking during a visit by the Governing Council of the Eastern Bar Forum at the Government House in Port Harcourt, the River State Governor noted that it is the responsibility of the Nigerian Bar Association to strengthen the judiciary. Now, I believe, if I know my governor, my amiable governor very well, Governor of River State is Excellency. I'm beginning to forget all the titles, but then we'll go with Barrister our chief barrister, isn't one, yes, some week, POS. I'm beginning to forget it. Wow, I'm beginning to forget it. But then again, you know who I'm talking about. And if I know him very well, he likes to say things that usually would have undertones. You know, it's never really. How do I put it now? You know, there is an underlying message in what he has said, and I think I like to understand it like this: that the message might be connected to what is currently happening between the DSS and Showere. Now, the court is giving an order, right? And yet the DSS has decided to go their own way. The question is, let me put it that way: how can the judiciary defend their honor without, you know, causing some kind of rift between the judiciary and the executive?
The truth is, yes. The truth is, each arm of government understands, you know, their functions and powers, their authorities, and to what extent they function, isn't it? Now, a breach of that particular extent, or, you know, crossing the line, you know, to either make the one arm or the other arm look, you know, powerless, is actually wrong and unacceptable, you know, in a democratic
and I agree with you
dispensation.
on that one, yeah.
So I feel if the judiciary really understands how much power they have, if the judiciary understands that they have the final say.
But then again, the judiciary is somehow connected to the executive, like a mother to the child with the, what do you call that, umbilical cord. Now, they get their finances from the executive arm of government.
The truth is, usually in schools, when they teach you about the judiciary, they tell you that, they're supposed to be independent. They're supposed to be, you know, imperial, without influence, they're just supposed to be independent, right? So that's not what we see. All right, we see that a lot of these judges, a lot of these lawyers, probably you know, influenced by some certain people in the society, or probably in the political space, and then by so doing, you see that it alters what they stand for. All right, so I guess that's where the problem is. If the judiciary once again becomes independent and you know, unbothered by.
Are you now saying they're not independent? I like to you know, pick on your words. Are you saying you're not independent? Let's get that thought now. All right, she's speechless. Oh my God. Let's move on to the next conversation. But then again, the question is simple. How can the judiciary, you know, uphold this image? How can the judiciary ensure that it is not relegated to the back burner and, you know, maintains and what's the word now? And keep its honor. All right, the next conversation has to do with reports from Kogi State. Now, there's the caption: forgive Yaya Bello for unpaid salary. And this is coming from who? Aisha Buhari. Forgive Yaya Bello for unpaid salaries. And this is coming from Yaya Bello. I'm sorry, from Aisha Buhari. But now, it's not only Aisha Buhari who has, you know, asked for the forgiveness from Kogi people. El Rufai is also asking for forgiveness on behalf of Yaya Bello, who is, of course, the governor of Kogi State. Now, I'm wondering, these are two APC stalwarts. I mean, one of them is the wife of the president, who is, of course, you know, naturally the leader of the APC because he's the president. And we also have, you know, El Rufai, according to conspiracy theories, might be one of the candidates who will be running under the umbrella of APC in 2023 for president in Nigeria. Now, these are rumors, by the way, but I'm just saying, you know, it's conspiracy theories. But now these two APC stalwarts are now begging for Yaya Bello, and it begs the question. I mean, why first of all front a candidate you know has not performed, right? Why first of all front a candidate you know has not performed? And then, I know Wealth and I were talking off air, and she said something. You know, we've been talking young people should run, and now we have a young person, and apparently he has not delivered. So we'll be looking at it from those angles. And Wealth, I'd like to get your view on it now.
Oh, well, I feel, first of all, that if he had done a very good job, the whole kneeling down, the whole dramatic asking people to, you know, vote him back into power will not be necessary. I think we should get to the point where we start to vote for people when while we campaign, we start out listing out things that we've done in the past, so that we can show people how much effort and how much delivery we've given to them on our promises, instead of apologizing for, you know, a failed administration and wanting the tenure was not as good as you know, you had promised during the first campaign. So that's what I feel. I feel if a government delivers, there will be no need for them to, you know, start asking the masses to forgive and to vote for a better second term or to do better in the second term. I just feel like your works should start to speak for you, especially when it comes to contesting for government offices.
Internal wranglings that happened in Edo State.